Hi there, my name is Sana Kapadia, Chief Impact Officer at Spring, and I'm really excited to share with you the Ideal Investor Framework that we have developed here at Spring, having worked with over 30 companies and helping them raise more than $50 million in early stage funding to make sure that you raise capital in an efficient and values-aligned way. So a little bit more about myself. I come with a background in finance, impact investing, social entrepreneurship. Here at Spring, I help lead our funding programs and also have certified us as a B Corp and hold the impact mandate for what it means to be a purpose-driven company. Past experiences have included being on the venture side, on the equity research side. I'm an activator with GEO, which is a global female community, and have also helped launch the Race Collective, again, a community of female investors, and currently an advisor to active impact investments. So lots of financial and impact background on my side. So what is it? Why do we talk about ideal investors? And what does that really mean? I think here's where I'd like to take a second to say, going down this process of fundraising is one where you want to ensure you have the least friction in the process. You want to make sure that it's smooth, you want to make sure that it's efficient. And as founders, we love what we do, we love our business, and we think that everyone will love us in the same way. And so there's this urge to talk to all types of investors and anyone who we think has the right capital that can help our business. But it's really important to think about this process as a sales process where you're super targeted, really making sure that you talk to the right people, the right connections, and those who understand what your business is about and who really buy into you and bond over your why. And this is truly important for impact entrepreneurs because your why is sometimes a big global challenge that you're working on. It could be the way that you've chosen to run your business is in a very inclusive way, or you're focused on a particular segment of perhaps marginalized populations. And so making sure that you're bringing in investors who share those same values and who understand your big why is going to be really essential to ensure that you're talking to the right people who are values aligned and are going to bring the best knowledge and expertise in addition to money at the table. And so the way that we have devised this process is by thinking of 7 traits that an ideal investor could have. And so I'm going to go through each 7, but just for your first glance: network, industry, business model, functional area, geographic relevance, return alignment, and easy to work with. So when we think about network, I'd like you to consider the network that the investor brings themselves, as well as the connections that they could make to other investors that are valuable not only for this specific investment round that we're doing, but also other future ones. It's also important to think about what markets they have that they could open up to you. Are they based in Vancouver, but they have connections in Europe, and this is something that's valuable for your business? Thinking as well about suppliers as impact entrepreneurs and potentially those that are even on the verge of being B Corp certified, having those deep ethical, sustainable supplier relationships is also important. And so making sure that your investors have that kind of network. Talent is obviously a great one as well, because you want them to help you grow your business and potentially they know of the right executive leadership. So think about network at a few levels. The second is industry experience. So here it's quite simply, let's say you are a real estate SaaS business. It wouldn't make sense for you to be connecting also with clean tech investors or with VCs that don't invest in B2B but are more B2C focused. And so that fringes into a little bit of business model, but perhaps they're not in real estate, and that's what you specialize in. So really being specific about industry, and this is not only from what sectors they invest in, but also the experience that they bring at a professional level, whether it's direct or indirect. Business model, I started to touch upon this, that's number 3. So the type of business models that they invest in or have had experience in supporting or running themselves. It's quite important to make sure that you're getting the right mentorship from the beginning. The fourth is functional area expertise, and think about this as the fact that investors bring with them not only the check, but the deep value, the deep experience and expertise, and maybe there's a gap in your skills at the team level, whether it's on the sales side, the product side, that they can step into and actually roll their sleeves up and help you with. So think a little bit about the areas that you need deeper support on. The fifth is geographic relevance, and I put this one because when we start to raise investment for our company, we think we should only have local investors because they're the ones who are close. And that is true to an extent, but if you are truly building a global impactful venture, you want to be thinking about aligning yourselves with investors who have that global network that's relevant to you now, but will also be relevant to you in the future, that could open up new markets for you or customers. So really think about where that ideal investor is and how you can tap into that network as you grow your business. This is number 6, is one of the most important because it's on return and values alignment. And so if you're building a venture scale business and you're speaking to an impact investor who has a much more patient capital approach, there might be a misalignment in terms of the type of return they're seeking and the type of business that you're building. And that's why we always say start with the end in mind and think about what sort of business you're trying to build, what type of exit you want to have, whether or not you want to have an exit or build actually a generational business. It's really important to have this kind of strategic dialogue on the type of business and the return that you're looking to have from the onset. And then finally, easy to work with. There's no better way than to think of the investment founder relationship as being truly a relationship and a long-term partnership, because these are people that you're probably going to be working with for anywhere from 3 to 10 years, depending on the type of funding that they're putting into you. So do you get along with them at a personal level, and do they make good progress? So really think about that deeper connection that you're building, because it definitely goes beyond the check. So just here to reiterate, the 7 traits of an ideal investor: network, industry, business model, functional area, geographic relevance, alignment on returns, easy to work with. There's not going to be a unicorn investor. You're not going to have everyone you speak to won't check off all these 7 boxes. But at the very start, you should at least aim for 3 to 5. And then the next step, and in a different video, you'll be able to see how to use these traits of the ideal investor profile to build your investor funnel, just as you would a sales funnel. So I hope this has been helpful to whet your appetite a little bit on how to talk about what would make an investor a good fit for your company and the type of business you're building and the impact that you're looking to have. And then there'll be some more tactical videos to follow on how to use this to build your investor funnel. Thank you so much for listening, and all the best.